Hi, I'm reading from the book Färjan by me, Tomas Berglund, the ferry in English. Um, we're on the 20th episode. Like today, I slept until just after 9, fell asleep for a while, ate breakfast and got ready. Went to pick up mom where she lives with her sister. Then we went to Nybyen. Mom changed and went out and put winter tires on the car, and I took care of our ads. It feels luxurious with a mom who does the man's work. One ad had bounced back, and I'm not sure which category it should be sorted into. I've lowered the price on the rest of the ads. We'll see if there is any reaction. Then I've gone crazy and built an ad for the Volvo S40 that's in the works. Now, this day has been marked by hope and despair. We got someone to come and pick up and pay for the wood splitter. That was good. A man who was probably older was doing some detective work on the riding mower that we are trying to sell, but then he hasn't heard from us. A man called and he was sure to have the Volvo, but he dropped out at the end of the day. Now all that's left is the Volvo, the riding lawnmower, the tiller and the sewing machine. The sewing machine was rejected at Blocket with some strange instructions. They are rebuilding at Blocket, so I didn't find where they were pointing. Now I managed to put the sewing machine away. It's not easy to get rich on old stuff, even if it's other people's stuff. Nobody really wants to pay that much for old junk, even if the stuff works. There's bound to be a bit of haggling here and there, and then a bit of haggling at the end of it. But what I can think of is that it really takes up quite a bit of time. If you have to bring everything out in the open, take sensible photographs, store them in the right places on your computer and phone, sit down and write about the stuff, then you have to deal with every interested person. But I like the idea of reusing things, not just buying new as soon as you need a new gadget. Many older things work without any problems. Sometimes they can work at least as well as new. I've had some financial support from my mom while we've been selling things, and before that I put together all the trips here and there tonight, and it was nice, instead of us having some kind of subconscious debt situation. I don't like that. I think it's important to keep gifts and loans separate. I don't want us to end up in some unclear situation. I don't know why it's so important to me, but I want to have it in black and white, what is a gift and what is a loan. Of course, under gifts comes some form of remuneration. If you think that I have been paid for work done, it's not that simple after all. After all, it's my mother who has all the power on her side. It's her stuff that we are selling, and the money is going into her bank account. And in the end, she'll probably have to sell the farm for just over 1.5 million, and then I will be taxed. Then it will be taxed, but she ends up with 1.1 million kronors on the account. Great, I don't have any promises. I don't know if she sees the work that I put in, how thoughtfully and smoothly I twist and turn the situation. She probably takes most things for granted. For example, when it comes to the sale of the house, I took the initiative early on to contact the real estate agency, which led to contact Greger Nordin, and we had been working together. Greger came out and valued the house. He came out and took photographs himself and sent a photographer, Micke, to photograph the house. Now we have done the estate inventory, and Gregor has sent two different types of photographers to the house. It will be the most expensive or most well-kept property on Hemnet. We ourselves believe in the house. Gregor believes in the house. Everyone believes in the house. We may have to lower our expectations a little. The world economy has plunged and interest rates have increased. People will not be as eager to borrow money. It is typical that it would happen right now. It is always typical. My mother is hungry for money. She wants to scrape together a few pennies. I don't know what she was thinking. Yesterday she told me that she wants a foldable mobile phone. I don't understand. Her works great, but she wants. What about the payment? I just need to state that Mom is corrupt towards me. It's perhaps a bit of a misguiding idea. And then, seen from only one perspective, she may mean well by me, and if I feel that way, the amount doesn't really matter as long as she loves me. But I would take a little hard if she suggested that I should get, let's say, 10,000 for my role in the liquidation of the house. But that's funerals. But that's clear. If she explicitly loves me, then so be it. Then my gift sits in my own heart. I've been involved in funerals and sales of things, as well as contact with a real estate agent, etc. I don't really think she understands how important my contribution has been. I can relate to how much I planned and thought about my mom and her life and livelihood since her husband passed away in August. It may sound a little like I have thought of everything, but I have not. I'm far from a professional. That is why we have a lawyer and a realtor. I or we cannot do very much, but one thing must happen before the other, and then it is best to take one thing at a time and in the right order. That is what I have tried to do, in a logical order, in a correct order, and it's not always so easy, preferably when it involves my mom and then my own life. Life is sometimes a grid that travels through time. A grid has four corners, actually more. One corner is my mother and the other corner is me. Another corner is the real estate agent Greger, and another is lawyer Lina. Actually, you should probably put my Mercedes as a corner. If it didn't work, very little would get done. The OK station with diesel and trailer, Granngården with sunflower seeds and tallow balls, Willys with food and drink, Telia, Halebop, Bilprovningen, Älvsbyns Energi, Älvsbybo, all possible and impossible suppliers of agencies. Lines should be drawn between the corners. I don't really know why I'm dwelling on this, but it's often very important when and in what order things are done, not just how they are done. It can be completely a mess if you do things in the wrong order. I'm trying to think of an example. When it comes to food, it's quite important when you heat the food and how you prepare it. You basically have to do one thing before the other, otherwise it won't be right. Tomorrow is a tool day in Nyby, and that means that we are trying to distribute tools and machines from the estate to Aunt Olof, uh, Uncle Olof, Cousin Tom, Cousin David, and Cousin Matthias, and maybe some to myself. I can be a little reluctant to give away tools and then complain when and if I need help getting something screwed. It has happened that often now, but I usually see the nice bucko pipe wrenches hanging about the tool table in Gransel, and I can think that I was the one who paid for those. They cost a decent amount of money. That's how I try to think. Gratitude is a fleeting acquaintance. Sometimes gratitude can make you move further away from each other than you were before. Some people find it demanding to be grateful to someone else. They feel that they somehow become dependent on the other person and have become indebted, something that must be paid back sooner or later. Some therefore avoid becoming indebted to someone. They can go great lengths to avoid the debt. It can almost lead to an excessive degree of meticulousness and the zealous monitoring and control. No one should ever have anything they can say negatively. My mother often opens up the conversation with, "You called while I was showering." Either you are a bit awkward calling just as she's in the shower, or you want to tell her that you are taking or have taken a shower. These showers must take at least 1 hour. I wonder if it's not a couple of hours as it is now. My mother and her sister shower every other night to catch up on all the showering. It is almost a bit sickly, and now my mother has started to gain weight. The last number was 3 kilos plus. I think that it's quite a lot of fika bread and fika. My mother ties together a pattern of behavior or pattern events with some kind of because construction. She did it because it did it because he wants to do this way, and then it's easy to think that there was a logical chain of events, as if you look at them a little deeper, they don't have to do with each other at all, other than in the imagination. Today she had seen a couple at Coop who actually live in Pajala. She knows that for sure, but what are they doing at Coop in Älvsbyn? Well, I think about it. I thought maybe they have children in Älvsbyn or some relatives with, or some good friends. What time did you do it? When did you start doing it? This is among the most uninteresting and difficult to answer questions that I get all the time from my mom. First of all, I'm not really interested in describing my life and my activities in detail. For me, it's enough that yesterday at 7 p.m. I finished sorting small and large logs. Good thing this has felt like it would never happen, as if it would never happen. But no, when I started and when I stopped doesn't matter that much to me. Rather, what has been done, what was the real work. It's typical. It's like I'm being shot back. This Saturday I had arranged for my cousins and my uncle aunt's husband Olof to come to Nybyen to take advantage of the tools that my mom's husband had collected. Then mom's friend Loffe somehow manages to invite himself. It's like he knew what was going on, almost like he wanted to come and join in. But it can't be that simple unless my mom told me that what we were planning to do. Maybe he thought he should get a share of all the taxes and savings. Sometimes I don't get wise to people. I talk to mom. First she texted and got no response. Then she called and it was Birgit who answered. Suffice to say that I don't want many visitors during the visit, so to speak, but I don't know what they came up with. Tomas is a troublesome bastard, maybe. He puts spokes in the wheels. But if you look at it from my perspective, I'm standing there feeding three grown men with tools and machines, and then someone from the outside comes and wants to put their nose in the water. Will you take it? I would like to have that too. How much are you prepared to pay for it, or for that, or would you rather take that than that, another one? What should I do with any payment to my mother? Of course, I want her to get a penny at the same time as my aunt's husband and my cousins are happy. And I want the tools and machines to run out. There should be nothing left tomorrow Sunday, possibly for collection, but not something that no one wants. Possibly a CT-Tech battery charger for the Volvo and for the battery of the riding lawn mower. I can't pay my cousins to come and take tools. Tools cost money. That's how it is in reality, but used tools lose a lot of their previous value. Darkness surrounds me. November 26, 2022. There is only a short moment of light, and then you are immersed in darkness again. I have spoken to the guy from Malå who is keen on the riding lawnmower. He would check if he could come and pick up the riding lawnmower tomorrow. We will see. We are down at 12,000 Swedish kronor and started at 30,000 Swedish kronor. A breathtaking bargain, mainly from my side. He sounds serious and interested. It would have been nice to be able to ship the riding lawnmower before the snow has come and when it's the last machine on the farm. The riding lawnmower with the trailer. The last two. I hope he calls and says it's okay for me to come tomorrow and I get the chance to answer. Absolutely. And he shows up tomorrow feeling happy and cool, and we start and test the machine and everything works as it should, out of the storage room and in onto the trailer, but it will probably rattle and a little when we start the machine. Maybe there is a slight imbalance between the shears, something that could be because you have possibly hit a rock. Something has to go wrong. That's just the way it is. You shouldn't think that you just have to check off every single point and just think that you can slip past the guards. I got a call from the real estate agent Greger Nordin today. We said that it would be I would receive an information from him that I in turn would inform my mother and my family. I think that's completely okay. At some point I saw Mother Greta say yes to something that wasn't good, or say no to something that was advantages, that she might be dragged along like a fish in the stream, but I don't know if I'm much better. Greger called and told me that it had stopped at the fact that they had been told that municipal water and sewage maybe have to be connected to the property, but nothing has been decided. It's just my stress level goes from 0 to 99 in 5 minutes. Winter is not the perfect time to digging. Why should why who should dig and when? The buyer or the seller? Maybe we should lower the price. So I came home from Willys, unpacked and went to bed. And then I called Greger up once more and asked him to explain. And he did, without hesitation. We were to wait for word on the municipality, and we were not to lower the price. We haven't received any bids yet. no danger in the boat, so it sits still while it rocks. We'll see where this ends. Stepfather passing is well known, no plus. You can think a lot about what qualities you should have to be a good broker. One quality that immediately comes to mind is that the broker should probably be social, that he or she can sense when it's time to take the next step, when to move on, when it's time to leave the situation and take a step forward into the next. I wonder if it feels like cycles. I wonder if the broker recognizes himself or herself in having been in the same situation before. I wonder if it feels fun or boring. Would you have liked to do something else? What's the biggest challenge of being a broker? That was the 20th episode.